why don't I open the meeting at 9:34 a.m. President Carol Rowe, Bill McGowan, Paul Kearse, Wayne Sawchuk, and Dan Coughlin.
And Brian.
And Brian. But he's not a member of the board. Our next meeting, if it's 2 weeks out, would be the 13th of December.
We actually we're looking at doing it next Wednesday, the 6th, because Rob wanted to do it then.
All right, we can do that then. That's fine.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
He's back from vacation and he wants to get this whole contract thing done with Woodard and Curran, so he wants to meet on Wednesday the 6th.
Yeah, that's in my opinion, it's a no-brainer. But anyway,
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So why don't we do the channel grinder?
Okay.
Scott, it's your floor.
Good morning, everyone.
All right.
Hopefully you have both copies of the quotes that we got. Basically, we can either buy a brand new one for $42,000, or we can get a renew version where we will get a totally remanufactured renew version for half the price, $20,000. It'll be, they're going to take ours. They're going to give us a completely remanufactured one, minus the parts, obviously, that we already have. We don't need the motor, the reducer, spool, any electrical components. All we need is the channel grinder itself. And this one will be built to our exact specifications. We'll just be able to drop it right in and turn it on. That's my recommendation, is that we go with the renew one.
What's the warranty? What's the warranty on this, Scott?
Both of them are 1-year warranties.
Oh, okay.
And both have the same lead time. Might be able to get the new one a little bit quicker, but both looking at 10 weeks or so.
Is this something that just recently failed, or is this something that we knew we had to replace? Because I don't remember seeing this on any.
No, this just recently failed. A little history with this. We replaced it 6 years ago or so. So it is something that runs 24 hours a day, 7 days a week in the influent channel. So.
Okay, no problem.
Wayne, are you still on?
Yes, I am.
What do you guys think of the refurbished or remanufactured unit?
I would go along with that.
I do. I agree.
I would agree too.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll make a motion that we purchase the remanufactured item at approximately $21,000.
Second.
We'll do a roll call. Bill McGowan, aye.
Paul Kearse, aye.
Wayne Sawchuk, aye.
Scott, one question. Do we still
Yes,
have
sir.
an immersible motor on that unit?
I'm sorry?
Do we still have an immersible motor on that?
Yes,
unit?
sir. Yep.
Okay, Scott, are you happy?
Perfect. I've never been happier. Yes.
Good.
Wow, that's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to start the day off, huh?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Perfect.
Anything else we need to know?
Nothing that can't wait until next Wednesday.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we're a quick update. We're right in the middle of a nice membrane cleaning. If anybody's interested in helping out or coming down and checking them out.
I actually might come down. I'm only 10 minutes away, not even. I might come down.
Bring
Can
it
I actually go in and watch it, or else is it too skunky in there? Or
No,
what?
absolutely. You can you can come down and see it, touch it, feel it, whatever you
No,
want.
I don't need to do that.
Yeah, bring an old toothbrush with you.
Yeah.
All right, perfect. Thank you very much.
Very
Thanks,
good.
Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Okay. All right, so since we have John with us, shall
But
we
we
talk
should have had.
about
Hey,
I'm
we
sorry?
should have had him on for
Black
he
Horse?
was for the blockage on Jerusalem Road.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, Brian can probably address it maybe.
All right, good.
Yeah, just on the agenda, There is a typographical error, so it shouldn't say Jerusalem Road Estates. It just said Jerusalem Road blockage, so you could strike the word estates from that.
Okay,
So we're just talking about a blockage that occurred on Jerusalem Road and how we're gonna go about fixing it, so. You know, Brian can update us on that. We can talk about it next week with Scott when he's on. Brian, any updates on that?
No, we can get into it next week or now,
Okay.
but basically, it's between, Linden Drive and Rust Way, which is kind of the Midland zone between the central or the Little Harbor district and the North district. And it was constructed, that piece of pipeline, it appears, was probably constructed, separate from both of those contracts. So, just game planning on how to kind of flush both directions individually on that section. I met with Scott and Rosano Davis out there, and we've game planned a bit, and I guess we can get into the plan further either now or later.
Yeah, next Wednesday we're on, so both, that next Wednesday's meeting specific for Woodard and Curran, so Scott and Rob will be on.
Sounds good.
Yeah, we can put it on there then, Carol.
I will. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Jerusalem Road blockage. Thank you.
Yep.
Brian, I think Ross Rosano was the one who built that one. Unless if you need any more information as well.
Yeah, Ross isn't available, but Paul Davis was a little familiar with it, and I guess there was one resident who extended to connect to the North District before Little Harbor was done, and that was one. It appears that had been torn up and then replaced with a newer pipe on or around like the Little Harbor District time. So it's just kind of that Midland zone. We don't have great plans on it like Little Harbor or North, and we're just coming up with a plan. And which may include maybe we put an air valve or a flushing connection in that section.
All right. Interesting meeting next week. Anything else, Brian?
No,
You want to
I'll
talk
jump-
about, I know we're jumping around, but for the best use of his time, I think, the sewer connection on north-south, the Cunningham Bridge thing we need to talk about as well, so.
Yeah,
I mean,
and Wayne, this is going back a few years. I thought we approved to put a connection there and have a stub to the shoot property, didn't we? Many moons ago?
Well, the shoot property is on sewer now.
Okay,
So it's the lot that, and I'm waiting for a price to connect that line, just so we'd have a budget if we wanted to do it, to increase to connect it over the bridge. And I sent a note to Dan the other day too, that there's enough room for them to come down for the new house and cut across the front of the property. The town owns quite a bit in, so I don't know if it'll be on the town land or just behind that, and then carry it down to the carriage house that's on the left-hand side of the driveway where there's a connection now, that for 2-inch, right, Dan, that goes a 2-inch there that should be increased to a 4-inch with a new pipe. So that there's sort of things happening down there in that way. So when the applicant comes in to get the request connection, we'll be talking about that.
Yeah, I know Dan had some concerns too about, the flow over the bridge and, how long it'll be continuous flow and some freezing aspects. So Dan, did you send him an email on any of that we talked about?
Yeah, I had, I had actually put together a design sheet for Wayne when he was talking to the contractor. And the thing is, we could, I think Brian had mentioned too, trying to activate it potentially, so would keep on flowing. But in order to do that, we'd be diverting flow probably from, the crossing over near the barrier beach, near the public beach. And that would then not have enough flow. So we're kind of stuck into this perspective where we need to keep on adding flow to the existing system and just maintaining this section as a bypass, emergency bypass. And I think that's probably the best bet because we don't have sufficient flow, to divert one way or the other. And I wouldn't want to jeopardize an existing pipeline that we have, and just keep this extension across the bridge as an emergency.
And I think that's the important part of it, because if for some reason the plant is shut down or something, we want to be able to have as much sewer be diverted to Hull that we can. And so this pipe could be activated at that point to take that section of the town.
The only recommendation I have is we don't know if there's any liquid or water inside the pipe now. It's gone through a couple of winters, obviously, so I'm assuming that it's okay. It's dry. But if we ever go to use it, post using that pipe, we'd need to probably add some, marine antifreeze or something like that, just to make sure that it doesn't freeze up if it's not in use.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Anything else? All right.
So we might as well go to the planning board request next since John's here.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Work our way up to the top of the agenda.
Sure.
Yeah, John, I'm just kind of respectful of your time, so.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I know this is a Black Horse Lane. I just wanted to, since you're on, I just wanted to see if you had any follow-up to last week. When you were on, we had mentioned we had not heard from 147 South Main Street at all.
Yes, I did make a site visit there, and the original plan called for adding one bedroom and eliminating one bedroom in the back room. Since then, I've asked them to review because they've, that was a net zero of subtracting one and adding one, but they have a study that is there, so that they have to determine whether they're going to use it as a bedroom or leave it open as a study. So I've approached them, gave them the sewer application, so they're going to come up with an answer before we close.
So it's no longer 3 apartments up there?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was this South Main or North?
South Main, 147 South Main.
All
Across
right, I was at 146 North
yeah.
Main. That was another
yeah.
project.
Oh yeah.
That's the one I asked you to go see.
Yes.
I know they just put a one of those white stink pipes up. So they're doing something.
Oh yeah, they did. They again eliminated one bedroom in the back lower and added a bedroom above the garage, but they also have an office above the garage. I said, well, if it's going to be an office, it's going to be open. I can't have a door on it, and it looks like you're planning a door on it. So I gave them the application. I said, if you put a door on it, it's going to be a bedroom, and you've got to pay the fee. So they're going to make that determination. I said, all right, we'll decide this before the final, but it's coming and it's in the works.
Yeah. And did you look at the other one that's down Main, going south on Main? They tore down 2 buildings and they're putting something else up. There's a DEP permit. I think it's around 90 Main Street. I'll drive by and I'll text you what the actual address is, but it's
on the right-hand side heading north.
Yes.
Yep, I know they had a permit for large home review, and I think they had an existing home there, and they didn't change the bedroom count, although they have a indoor and outdoor pool and some other stuff, but that's what people do now, I think.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I guess they do. Yeah. So the other property I was going to ask you about is down near the Catholic Church. I think it's on Main and Spring.
That's 147 South.
Yeah,
that's
Paul.
147. And the only reason I drove by there yesterday, and there was a plumbing supply truck out unloading things. Now, I don't know what it was, but I mean,
yep, they're still on track. Last time I was there, they have 3 office buildings on the first floor and 3 apartments on the second floor. It has an elevator lift in it, sprinkler building, so that hasn't changed any.
We haven't had an application from him, and there is a change of use on the property, so there is a privilege and hookup fee that would be applied. And we've never heard from him.
Okay, he
And
said,
he's also deeding one apartment as affordable, and I know that he's working with Cassandra, but she hasn't heard from him in a while.
right, she did send him the application information to get
Yeah.
that process started. But
Okay.
I'll put him in touch with you guys to make application for the sewer.
Yeah. That'd be great. Thank you.
147.
Anything else, John, you need from us?
Yeah, he's on here for 94 Black Horse Lane is the reason why he's on.
Yeah,
So
we'll get to it at some point.
94 Black Horse Lane, they're getting closer. I think we'll probably hear December 6th at that meeting, whether the planning board's approved that or not. It'd be 94 as well as 70 Black Horse Lane, I believe. 70 is in the process of getting an A&R and separating a lot, and 94 is in the process of adding 3 lots.
Wow.
Now, we have a 2-inch line, pressure line in that area that which reduces to 1.5. And I think Dan said that the 1.5 could handle 2 houses, the one that is on it now and another one, but might not handle three new houses. So that they may have to either go back to where it was 2-inch and put another line in, or do something else. I can't believe it. And what was your comments on that?
Yeah, I would recommend they go and connect up to the 2-inch. Currently 94 has a 1.5-inch service off of the 2-inch. So I think extending it down the road to pick up the new homes, it can be 1.5, but that should be brought all the way to the 2-inch and connected to the 2-inch.
So it'll be a total of 4 homes hooked up, is what he's saying now.
4 new homes, that's the
Yep.
plans if the planning board approves it.
So not including 94?
That would be 94 exists already. And then there would be 3 additional homes above 94, and then 1 additional home below 70 or at 70.
So the one below 70 would connect to the 2-inch anyways?
I believe so. That would be the same as 80 and 90 already.
So the 1.5 extension beyond 94 for the 3 new lots, the 1.5 would be fine for those 3 homes.
Provided that line go down to the 2-inch,
Correct.
right? But it's the 1.5 inches already up in that area.
Yeah, but that really is kind of a private service for 94. You know, the logical connection point is the 2-inch anyways.
Right.
It's just down the driveway a bit, you know.
I would assume they'd be connecting not to 94, but directly to the 2-inch line.
Yes.
Also, Brian Joyce has brought up to the in discussions that they might extend the water line to continue a loop up there too, to somehow to do that. But again, once the house is get approved, I think that discussion will be forthcoming with the water department too.
Good.
And I think that was it. Unless I think you guys already talked about the golf tavern there, and you were all set there.
Yeah, that was signed up by Monday of this week, if not
Okay.
last
Yeah.
Wednesday.
Yeah, we issued the permit yesterday, so.
Oh, is this the golf? This is the golf place?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that was done last week.
Okay. Was there anything
was-
else? Oh, go ahead.
John, what was the address for that one?
It's
For the-
39 CJC.
Okay, yeah. Yep, okay,
Unit 101.
okay.
Anything else, John?
No, I think that kind of brings us up to date. I'm sure
Yeah.
we'll see you again as 94 gets a little closer.
Yep, always welcome.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So I think we've gone through everything.
CJC?
Yeah, and I know Michelle Leary's on. I don't know if it's Michelle Henry's specific subject matter or if she's just attending.
No, I meant, we went through our agenda. I'm just, so.
Okay,
She has her hand up.
yeah,
Have her come on.
Okay. There we go.
Hi,
Hello.
good
good
morning.
morning, Michelle.
So the reason I wanted to join the call is just to talk a little bit about the payment methods for the two properties that are connected. And I don't know if you want to put that on a future agenda so we can get into details about it.
We can.
But I know CJC, we were talking about the amendment. And I see that we may, on a future agenda, also want to put a Cook Estate amendment on there based on a review I did of the contract.
Okay,
So we can talk offline about the amendment and how it should be amended, and then, talk about an open session once it's on the agenda.
okay. So I've been working on both of those under the guidance of Bill McGowan. So I
Okay,
can certainly work with you on them.
yeah, that'd be great.
Okay.
And then I know the billing's gonna go out, should go out the first of the year for both properties, but we just have to work through the logistics of that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and thank you again for getting that gentleman to do this, Michelle.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so I know it's quarterly, and there was a provision in the CJC contract. I thought the billing wouldn't start on CJC until after it's been conveyed to the town, but as I read through the contract last night, the billing starts when he's fully connected. And then there's a separate paragraph or section in here where the ownership is transferred to the town, which you and I could talk about what that mechanism looks like.
Yep. Yes.
Okay,
As well as future connections and the management of that. There's some tricky paragraphs in that contract. We just have to make sure that we're managing them.
okay. Yeah, if you want to set up something separate with me, we can do that.
Sure, that sounds great.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
All right, thanks, Michelle.
And then I know we have the CJC amendment here on the agreement. I don't
And
know-
Jeff DeLisi is waiting to get into the call.
Sure.
Put him on.
Okay. There he is.
Good morning, everyone.
Hey, good morning, Jeff.
Thank you for bringing me into the call, Bill. I appreciate it.
All right, and then just for the record, we are here without the benefit of our attorney, so just again, for the record.
No worries. The only reason why I'm here is I've been presented with a new amendment from the commission to sign, to have Donald sign. If the commission recalls, back in April, we signed an amendment which eliminated the need essentially to report maximum daily and maybe weekly flows or something to that effect. And for some reason, I've been presented with a new agreement, which I've been told essentially just kind of contains a form that requires data to be submitted to the town for reporting. If the commission recalls, there was a provision in the contract that required that the parties have a mutually agreeable form, and I believe Mr. Negrati and Mr. Coughlin were agreeing on whatever that form would look like, and that is what it would be. But the amendment that was presented not only contained a form, it contained additional substantive information. So I was just, it hadn't been discussed with me, and I wanted to understand what that was about. And then additionally, I think Michelle was just kind of talking about it. The quick update is the The state has signed off on the administrative consent order, which allows for the sewering and the decommissioning of the septic system and all of that. And in addition, an as-built plan has been provided to the town. So if the town needs any additional deliverables to ensure that we're in compliance with the contract, all we need to know is what they are, and we will provide them to the commission.
Perfect. Yeah, Bill asked me to take charge of that aspect of it, so I worked with Dan Coughlin on a list. So we do have a list, and there are a number of things that have been completed. So I'll show you the list, so that you know what was completed. And then we can go from there. So specific to, you know, what you had mentioned with the state, you know, so we need subjective evidence that that has been done. So if you send us a copy of that, or some sort of language that you want to send to us stating that it was completed, that's great. Things like the Mass DOT stuff being closed out, you know, we need evidence of that. Stuff from conservation that you may have closed out already, we need evidence of that. And we have the paragraph numbers and sections that they reference in the contract.
Okay, yeah, no, just provide me with a list and I'll work on it. Donald is anxious to make sure that he complies with his obligations, so.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll work on it, I'll get it to Carol, and then she'll forward it to you, and then we can work on it directly if you would like.
Thank you.
I know we did get the as-built plans. There were a couple things missing from that, so I'll get a list of what that is, specifically to grease traps, you know, that kind of thing. So nothing earth-shattering. But specific to the Second Amendment,
right?
Yeah, so we signed the First Amendment, which was fine. We all agreed to that, and that we agreed that there would be a mutually agreed upon form, which we did send. The Second Amendment that was sent out, I'm in agreement with, to the extent that we hadn't had a chance, I don't know, to review this addition to the First Amendment. So it is confusing from my perspective, and I think that I can tell you that it has a couple of errors in it. One is so the amendment that you were sent on page 2, it states that there's an Article 1. This is item number 2, which is Article 1, paragraph 1.3. It says paragraph E, and that's incorrect. I think it should be paragraph G as in girl. And if you look below at number 3, it does say Article 1, paragraph 1.3G shall be hereby amended, striking the words peak rate and maximum daily flow of each period. So that's 3 is in conflict with 2 on our amendment to begin with, and the amendment is citing the wrong paragraph. So I want to be able to correct that. I want to work with the authors or the subject matter experts here that are trying to address something. I went back to the original contract, and I think really the issue is we all agreed to get away from daily flow recordings. So in the original agreement, in Article 1, that 1.3 paragraph G, the one that was actually executed, is kind of subordinate to what we changed, which was paragraph C as in Charlie, right? We got rid of that daily flow when we gave you a form. In G, at the time we asked you for that First Amendment, we probably should have changed paragraph G, because that requires you to do average daily flow. And we agreed not to have to do average daily flow. So that does have to change. If you want to look at that, Jeff, and get back to us on that to see if, I'm just curious to see if you agree with that. Because paragraph G is asking for, it's asking for the peak rate of pumping, which we said we would eliminate in that Second Amendment, but we didn't eliminate the average daily flow for each month and the maximum daily flow for the period.
Yeah,
So-
that sounds, it sounds like that was probably an oversight of town council or whomever, maybe myself. And it makes sense to me. I was more concerned about the language that was inserted into this second agreement
Yeah, the language that's in there, it speaks to, this 2-year period. Well, we already have a 2-year period in paragraph G already.
Yeah.
It's just not, it's not less frequently than 2 years, so that's 2 years.
Okay.
So I'll get together with the folks that constructed those paragraphs and kind of find out, where we maybe took a misstep on 1 or 2 of these and find out what we're trying to achieve by changing that. I know
Yeah.
that the existing agreement does require average daily flow according to paragraph G, so we agreed to get rid of daily flow. So that paragraph still has to be changed.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
that change would require a signature.
Yep. Absolutely. Yep.
Okay,
Okay.
why don't we do
Yeah,
that?
so I just was taken by surprise. I didn't know that anything was even being discussed about this. I basically filed it away in April, and forgotten about it. So
Okay.
I'll Paul, if you want to work with me directly on that.
Okay.
I'll be a facilitator.
Okay, terrific. Yeah. So, what I'll do is I'm going to get the list together, hopefully by Friday. And then Carol can send it off to you of what's there. Then I'll have a separate section where we can address this, paragraph G. 1.3 G is what that's what we're trying to amend in that second amendment.
Okay.
And I'll get together with whoever I need to on our side, to see what it is we need to change.
Fantastic. I appreciate it. Thank you. If the commission has any additional questions for me while I'm here, I'm happy to answer, or.
I think we're okay.
Okay.
I think that's good. Yeah, we just want to kind of wrap this up and figure out how we can finalize the agreement and then convey it to the town. So that's the goal.
Ditto.
All right, awesome. Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, guys, do we have anything else we want to discuss?
I have something, Brenda sent me, an abatement. She said that it had something to do with, the meter. I print the other page. She said there was a meter at, 27 Grace Drive. There was an issue with the meter itself. It was incorrect. And, she said that we should be giving this gentleman an abatement for this issue because it wasn't his fault. She said the abatement should be $334.72. So I don't know if you want me to have the homeowner to come and take care of this.
Well, typically, I mean, we get an abatement request from somebody.
Right.
And whether, and it should be from the homeowner. I mean, that's what we've done in the past, like, since I've been here. So I think that we need that at the minimum.
Okay. I'll let her know.
Yeah, it's just the paperwork I think that you want. So, if she can get it together and maybe get it from.
Yeah,
Brenda.
she was
Yeah.
saying that the error was on Veolia's equipment and that the customer was getting overcharged.
So this is the actual water meter itself?
Correct, yes.
Right, so the water would represent the sewer.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. Yeah.
So I think that it almost should be able to be handled internally and just.
Yeah, but I mean, I want to just follow the same protocol we have for everybody, and that's all. And just have them send
Okay.
an abatement slip in, and then we'll just, that'll be an easy one to do.
Okay, so do you need the homeowner there or do you want me to just forward you the abatement information?
No, he should fill out an abatement slip, but he doesn't have to be here.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good. That's all I had.
Anyone else?
Nothing, just to add to Paul, Delisi originally did the first draft of that amendment.
Of the second one or the first one?
Yeah, there's only one amendment, I guess. It's the
There's
first-
two. There's two amendments. One has
A
been
revision, yeah.
one has been fully executed. So the other one The other one that was sent out, it should be stated as a second amendment because we added a whole new paragraph to it.
Right, it should be now, because that was supposed to be the First Amendment.
Right, well, the First Amendment was already fully executed, so that's off the table. So now this is a Second Amendment. So the
Right.
First Amendment was already executed and
Not
Regis-
before this one was done. This one was completed. This is the one that was supposed to be sent to them for execution. And
yeah, so it's
got done, but that's fine.
I don't disagree with you, but it's
Yeah, so this will be the Second Amendment,
too late because the other one was fully executed.
correct?
Yeah.
So this would be a Second Amendment, and basically
Correct.
we'd add some language in the front, basically to delete the First Amendment and substitute it to this amendment, and that'd probably be the cleanest thing.
Yeah, so we can talk about it. So you can't delete the First Amendment because it's already executed. All we can do is send a Second Amendment and revise what we want to change.
But
Right,
part of that
so-
revision would be to basically get rid of the First Amendment.
Yeah, so you and I can talk about it because the First Amendment was
Sure.
fine. We changed, paragraph 1C, 1.3C, we changed that in the First Amendment and you agreed to that. And we just needed to send them the form, which you have the form. And we got rid of the daily flows. But when I read paragraph G as in girl, that has daily flows in it. And it looks like
Oh.
it looks like we tried to change paragraph G, but it says paragraph E instead in the draft amendment.
Yeah,
And
we can talk about that offline.
okay, yeah,
Yes, give me
yeah,
a
and I'm
call.
not far from you too. If you want to come up, I'm right here. I'm up of 125 in Wilmington, or I can head down to Woburn. So it's up to you. Or we can just do it online, whatever convenient.
Might be better just to set up a Zoom or something like that. That way I
Okay.
have all the records here too,
Yeah, yeah,
and we can reference it. Whatever
yeah.
you
Because I
want.
went through all three of them last night, and I'm like, this is kind of confusing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I had made some edits to Delisi's form, and then it went over to Greg, and Greg made some final additions. And then he finalized it as the First Amendment. But after that point, Delisi's original got executed. So obviously this, we'll have to revise it.
Right.
Because I think the first one didn't have any forms. It was just get rid of the requirement, and that was it.
Yeah, so having a form doesn't require an amendment. Changing language in the agreement requires an amendment. So,
Correct.
forms will change over time, as we move on, but yeah, forms don't need to have an amendment. They just need to be mutually agreed upon. And we have a form, we send it to them, they fill it out.
Mhm.
So we just have to do that. But, yeah, I'll go over it with you because I don't know what we're trying to achieve in paragraph G. I know that we do have to remove daily flow from it.
Yeah, it's not really the daily flow, it's the peak hour that they had a problem with, and the max day. So those are the two items that they had an issue with based upon the flow meters that they installed at the site.
Yeah.
So we can talk about it in more detail.
Okay.
Do it outside the meeting.
Okay.
Do you have a time or something you want to do that, or?
Yeah, let me look at my magic calendar here. Friday I'm wide open, so.
Okay.
Yeah. Just let me know whenever you have time on.
Right now I'm pretty open on Friday.
Okay. So we do something at like 10 a.m. would be fine.
Okay. Want me to send you a Zoom link?
Please.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah, it'd be good to close this thing out.
Yeah.
Don't want to get to 3 years dealing with this thing.
Yeah, 1 year for every page in the contract.
Well, as we're getting there.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen and Carol?
I'm good.
Everyone else?
Okay,
Yeah, we're good. We'll be meeting next Wednesday, specifically with Woodard and Kern on their issues.
Yep.
Mhm.
So
Very
that's
good.
should be
So
all-
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
second,
And we'll do a roll call. Bill McGowan, aye.
Paul Kiersai.
Wayne Sawchuck, aye.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank
care.
you.
Take care.
Bye now.